We have some simple rules for adding integers. A positive number plus a positive number equals a positive number, and a negative number plus a negative number equals the negative number. All right, so let's take a look at a little bit more complicated scenario. So what if we're taking a positive number and a negative number and we're combining them? We have opposite signs. We have a positive number and then we have a negative number. So the first thing that we have to do is decide which number has the larger absolute value. And that is, when we find the answer, that's the sign that's going to go with it. So if the positive number has the larger absolute value, the answer is going to be positive. If the negative number has the larger absolute value, that's going to be the answer. It's going to be a negative. So that will be the sign of the sum. Then what you do is subtract to find the sum. All right? We'll need to look at an example of that. Looking at this slide here, we have the rules for adding and subtracting integers. I'll just go over them again. If the sign and the operator are the same, you change it to a positive number. If the sign and the operator are different, you change it to a negative number. So here's my examples below. I have a negative 7 minus a minus 8. That becomes negative 7 plus 8. And if I find the answer to that, remember, going back, we think of absolute values. 8 has a bigger absolute value than 7. So my answer is going to be a positive 1. In the next example, we have 7 plus 8. So that is just 7 plus 8. Your answer is 15. Now, in the final example, might be a little bit confusing. We have 8 minus a negative 7. That goes back to my first rule right here. If the sign and the operator are the same, you change it to a plus. So here's my sign, or here's my operator, I should say, and this one is my sign. They are the same, so I change it to 8 plus 7. Let me just do maybe another example here. If I have negative 3 plus 2, okay, I have a positive integer that I'm adding to a negative integer. Negative 3 has the larger absolute value, so I am going to subtract and I'm going to keep that sign. My answer would be negative 1. So that's how you do these. Let's continue on. Multiplying integers, we have some simple rules. When we take a positive number times a positive number, we get a positive answer. That's what's going on here. We have a positive number times a positive number. When we take a negative number times a negative number, we get a positive. So this is probably the rule you need to commit to memory the most, because I think students see that negative times negative and they think the answer should be negative, where actually a negative times a negative is a positive. Next, if we take a positive number times a negative number, our answer is negative. If we take a negative number first times a positive number, we also get a negative number. So you want to review these rules so that you know them. Positive times positive is positive. Negative times negative is positive. Positive times negative is negative, and negative times positive is negative. My rules for dividing integers are very similar. A positive number divided by a positive number results in a positive number. A positive number divided by a negative number results in a negative. Same thing if we just reverse those. A negative number divided by positive equals negative. And then if you take negative and divide it by negative, you get a positive answer.